By now you probably guessed, yes, I'm a musician, I love music. So let me teach you something that I do every time I feel like I got a stage fright or I'm nervous or some version of that. When people are watching you present, perform, dance, sing, talk, whatever, they don't realize what their own facial expression is. This means that sometimes the person may be totally into whatever you're doing or saying, but they look like this. Or they look like this. Or they're like, that doesn't mean anything. Just simply remember that their facial expression does not always reflect what they're thinking. And this leads me to my second point. A couple of tips on where to look when you're presenting, performing, whatever. Let's start this way. If you are confident that you can look people in their eyes, do it. They feel part of the game, they feel part of the presentation, they feel engaged. So if you have the feeling that you can do that and you're gonna be fine, do it. However, if you're not comfortable with that, there are two things you can do. One, look all the way back across the room to the other wall. Yep, do that. When you're looking at the end of the room, the back of the room, people don't realize that you're doing that. Obviously, if you're looking up, that's one thing. But if you're looking just above their heads, all the way in the back, they're just gonna think they're looking at the person behind them, and behind them, and behind them, and the last person will probably not gonna be able to see your eyes that well, so you should be fine. The second tip is, you can look at people's forehead. They're gonna think that you're looking at their eyes, but you're not. And that's probably the coolest one, because they don't realize, and when you look at the forehead, try now, only look at my forehead. So if you're looking at their forehead, is not as frightening as looking at their eyes. So again, looking at the forehead can give you an advantage towards what you're doing. Over prepare, but remember that you don't have a crystal ball. The key is practice, practice, practice. Now, one of the jokes that I usually say with one of my friends, or sometimes in presentations even, is that I have no idea of what I am saying because I don't speak English. The only reason why I'm able to give a presentation is because I memorize everything I have to say and then I say it. So don't ask questions. It may or may not be a joke. I remember the very first time I gave a presentation in English. It was about sleep paralysis, and I was scared to death of ruining the whole thing, just making a fool of myself. I know I practiced it at least 10 full times after I was done with the PowerPoint slides. I timed myself, I got different friends to listen to the presentation, and I practiced it. I practiced it a lot, and I got 100. The point is, I'd never given a full presentation in English before. In fact, I just arrived in the US like 2-3 months prior to that. So, if I can do it, you can definitely do it. So when I say over prepare and practice, 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 I truly mean it. Of course, there's gonna be a point where like, alright, I really know this stuff. Then you stop, relax, then you're better off taking some time off than keep practicing for an 11th, 12th time, right? You have to find that balance, but make sure you've practiced it a lot before you decided that you're good to go.